Welcome back. Today we are going to spend a bit of time on governance and best practices because it's very useful. So in order to create production-ready pattern for Lakeflow Connect at scale, you need to have a proper governance and you need to follow also good practices. So we are going to mention a couple of them now to finish this episode or this Lakeflow Connect Masterclass. This is a very important topic, and the fact that we have integrated the Lakeflow Connect to Unity Catalog, which gave us like built-in governance immediately. This is a breakthrough in pipeline for data engineers. Is very useful addition because it automatically gives you automatic lineage, so you can follow your the data from source to staging to delta tracked automatically. So this process is very important. And the second bit is access control. So Unity Catalog RBAC, role-based access control, applies to all pipeline outputs, which is a very useful addition as well. So you have also the audit login. So every pipeline run, every connection used is logged. And we saw that one when we saw like Microsoft SQL. So the audit login is very important addition as well. Tagging and discovery. So you can tag tables by source system, sensitivity, and so on. And that therefore it will be easy to discover. To discover. Now, when you do like product level pipeline, you need to have like you need to follow best practices because that way you would ensure that the one you created is people can trust it, can use it, and therefore can add also value to the organization. So these best practices is very useful. You need to follow them whenever you do a pipeline design or you implement a pipeline. So first is like use descriptive naming conventions that we saw, for example, when you name a connection, you can say it is source, it is environment, and what it is, for example. So we saw, for example, we say SQL, dev, and then we have added also the pipeline, which is like whether it is gateway or connection. Now, also start with full refresh and then add CDC once baseline is validated. This is also critical, so you need to do full refresh initially, so you don't just rush to CDC, because also this will also um, like help you to avoid certain pitfalls. Now, number three is monitor source systems. Now, this is again very important. The impact of the source system is critical. So if the source system is doing like is looking patient, for example, you shouldn't compete with patient to get data. So the whole purpose of the organization is to see a patient, and your loading should not impact the patient service or whatever it is. It could be a student, it could be retailing. So the purpose of the organization is if it is retailing, and this you are going to help retail and not add like another burden to the retail investor. So always monitor source system impact during initial load. So what is the impact of it? So that reduce that impact. Now, number four is always set up alert for pipeline failures and SLA breaches. Again, this is a critical part. You can receive emails every morning or every day or every hour. So you need to set alert. So if the pipeline is failing, to intervene quickly and resolve it. And also you need to have like SLA with your stakeholders, and therefore to just to monitor whether you are on the SLA or whether you are breaching the SLA or not. Yeah. And then you need to document it. This is a, I think I mentioned one area where how you can do documentation in one place. So documentation, the connection details is critical. It helps the team and it helps the people you collaborate with. And also, if there is an issue, a problem, troubleshooting, say, for example, after a year, after 2 years, yeah, the work you have done, it will be for you, it's there for you, and therefore it will help you, it will guide you to solve the problem. So it will help you, this documentation help you again, you or your team or other people who are working in this area to troubleshoot or solve the problems. Now, always test connection strings in non-prod before production. So the connection is critical. So it should work before you go into production, say it's working. So you always test them, test again 2, 3, 4 times. And then when they are working, then you can go and put them in production. So because there might be an IP address problem, a authentication problem, like login, and it might be a lot of issues which you need to identify and rectify it before you send it to production. Number 7 is use Unity catalog tags to classify data by sensitivity. Again, this is a very useful one. Say, for example, if you have a table which have like PII data into it, so or a column which has PII data into that column, so you need to put a tag for that one to classify. Say this table has PII, and then you can search. When you do search or discovery, you would find it easy, or when you try to query, you will find it easy by when you search it by that tag instead of looking at thousands and thousands of tables and files. So the tagging in Unity catalog is very critical, especially to classify sensitive information. Now, schedule pipeline during source system low traffic windows. Again, now this is again the source system is your gold. This is why you are there in the first place, and therefore your work should not impact the source system, and therefore your schedule should be like when there's low traffic in the source system. So again, this is a good practice which you need to schedule, and then you won't have you won't impact the people. And I'm sure people, if you do that way, of course, we would know we are known as data engineers or people who work on the systems. We people don't notice us unless there is a problem. So if you are not noticed, because it's because our system is working and people are doing their work. So that is a key part there. Yeah. Now you shouldn't be noticed by bad name, by giving yourself bad name. You know your pipeline is failing and you are creating problems for people. Now keep credentials in Unity catalog. Yeah. So again, this is a critical part. This is now in Databricks, you have a Unity catalog, and therefore you don't need to do extra work there. So you need to put your credentials in Unity catalog because it will be safe. So again, review Lineage regularly. This is again because if you want to know where the change happened, you need to pinpoint where it happened and then do something about it. Yeah. So these are the 10 production best practices. And if you follow them, it will help you a lot in your work. Now, this is the end of the series. So we have created 7 episodes on Lakeflow connectors. Yeah. So that is the end of the series. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed and you learned something out of it.